Disruption averted. EVA pilots call off their Lunar New Year strike. Taiwanese diplomats face accusations of burning a Nauruan flag after the countries cut ties. A simulated missile strike helps civil defense groups plan for the worst. Plus,
who will be Taiwan's next legislative speaker? Well, that'll come down to the Taiwan People's Party and who their lawmakers choose to support.
a warm welcome to TaiwanPlus News. I'm Betty Chen. EVA air pilots have called off a strike, ending fears of travel chaos during Taiwan's busiest travel season. John Venturez reports.
At this negotiating table, Vice Premier Zheng Wenzan has helped avert a crisis. To his left and his right, pilots and airline reps signed an accord. Pilots with Taiwan's second biggest carrier, EVA Air, had planned to strike Wednesday. The idea was maximum disruption just ahead of the Lunar New Year, when travel to and from Taiwan peaks. But with the help of government mediation, that plan is now canceled.
机师工会针对我们的薪资条件还有外站津贴的这些部分，不会再持续的争议，但是双方还是将来会持续的交换意见跟讨论。
The two sides agreed to pay raises based on rank and experience. The airline will also adjust the special allowances it gives out to pilots when they travel abroad. In addition, the airline has agreed not to hire more foreign pilots unless there's a special need. The pilots, for their part, agree that these issues are settled, at least until the end of May 2026. Transport officials say they're pleased with this result.
现在因为距离春节也快靠近了，也希望就是说大家能够坚守岗位，然后恢复正常，尽量能够为这次的春节来提供服务。
They want talks between the airline and the union to become more regular, so they can avoid similar near misses in the future. Kama Xu and John Van Trieste for TaiwanPlus.
Taiwan is denying allegations that its diplomatic staff burned a Nauru flag as they were packing up to leave the country. Louise Watt reports from Taiwan's foreign ministry.
Taiwan's foreign ministry has denounced a video purporting to show its diplomatic staff destroying a flag of Nauru after it cut ties with Taipei in favor of Beijing. The video was published by a magazine in the Solomon Islands, a Pacific nation with close ties to China. In the video, a man is seen burning items, reportedly including Nauru's flag and other documents. But Taiwan's foreign ministry is protesting what it calls a false and maliciously slanderous report, saying that while it has destroyed sensitive documents as part of its withdrawal process from Nauru, the video was edited in an ill-intentioned way. The video comes as speculation grows that China could lure another ally away from Taiwan. 3 of Taiwan's 12 remaining diplomatic allies are in the Pacific. One of them, Tuvalu, has just held an election, and there are some fears that it could rethink its ties with Taipei after its next leader and government are decided. Justin Wu and Louise Watt at Taiwan's Foreign Ministry for TaiwanPlus.
More than 100 people took part in a drill over the weekend that simulated a missile strike in Taipei. The exercise was held by the Kruma Academy, a group that's aim is to prepare Taiwanese for a conflict with China. As Hamilton reports, interest in civil defense courses have skyrocketed ever since Russia invaded Ukraine. The drills included simulated injuries, but they look very real, so be aware of graphic images ahead.
People crying in pain and a race to rescue survivors. This is a simulated civil defense exercise in Taiwan's capital, Taipei. People here are learning how to respond to a missile attack.
因为就算不是讲战争，有时候你只是有一个，比如说我们在地震带，那你有一些大型的灾害发生的时候，你还是要知道怎么样找避难所啊，然后跟你的同伴联络，或是到你可以安全的地方去。然后我觉得这些讯息蛮需要练习的。
This class is being taught by one of Taiwan's largest civil defense groups, the Kruma Academy. Their goal is to train at least 3 million of Taiwan's 23 million people in civil defense. That means teaching people first aid, how to find shelter, and how to survive. One of the major focuses of this class is responding to a missile strike. It uses fake blood and body parts, along with volunteers, to create true-to-life conditions. It's this realism that has many interested in taking these lessons.
主要是想要了解一下，如果真的有发生一些灾难啊或战争的时候，那个情境大概会是怎么样子？因为其实灾难就是随时都有可能会发生吧，对啊，那只是说先做个准备，那有发生任何事情的话，就比较能够因应这样子，在心情上面、心理的准备上面。
Classes like these took off in Taiwan after Russia invaded Ukraine in 2022. Taiwan faces a similar threat from neighboring China, which claims the country is part of its territory. And that situation has led Taiwan to focus more on civilian defense. As well as the military, private companies like Kuma Academy are leading that charge. But while this specific class focuses on how to react during a war, participants say that the training can be applied in any scenario.
不管台湾有没有这样的一个威胁，都是其中一个可能性。毕竟从911你也不知道它会发生911啊，意外你永远不知道什么时候会先来。
Proponents say that the drills aren't about hyping up the threat from China, but about giving people a more realistic sense of what a crisis feels like. Regardless of whether it's a natural disaster or war, the idea is for Taiwanese to be prepared for any situation. Scott Huang and Jaime Ocon for TaiwanPlus.
A Taiwanese probe will be sent to the moon as part of an international mission later this year. Scientists from National Central University designed a radiation probe for use in a moon landing led by Japanese tech firm iSpace. The probe is the first Taiwan-made gadget to qualify for deep space use. Its developers say Taiwan is set to play a larger role in a commercial space industry.
We have a lot of experience in precision industry, electronics, telecommunications. And one reason why a lot of companies in Taiwan are moving into the space sector now is because they see a very effective market in terms of low Earth orbit satellite communications like Starlink and so forth that has a need for products that they happen to specialize in.
Who will be Taiwan's next legislative speaker? That's a question that will be answered on Thursday when a new legislature convenes. Both Taiwan's ruling party and the main opposition have pitched their candidates to the crucial third force, Taiwan People's Party. Leslie Liao has the latest from Taiwan's legislature.
Taiwan's newly elected legislature will convene on February 1st. Now, one of the first orders of business for the new lawmakers is to select a legislative speaker. Both the ruling DPP and the main opposition KMT have nominated candidates for the position. The DPP wants Yu Xi-kun, who's the continuity candidate, while the KMT wants to see former Kaohsiung mayor and 2020 presidential candidate Han Kuo-yu at the post. Now, neither of these parties have the majority necessary to push their person through. The decision will come down to the Taiwan People's Party and who they choose to support. Earlier today, both candidates met with the TPP to pitch their positions. The KMT says they want to work with the TPP to form an opposition coalition to reform the legislature.
我们沟通的几乎是无话不谈，又帮老百姓满足了很多需要，又带动了国会的改革。我是抱持着这样子一个观念来。
Meanwhile, the DPP says that it will do what's best for Taiwan within the constraints of the law.
大家共同来思考，让台湾怎么更好。那其中国会改革当然对台湾的发展、台湾的未来是非常重要。当然，我还是要严守这个立法院组织法的规定。
But the TPP has said that legislative reform remains high on its agenda.
那我们大家对于立法院接下来的运作，那以及我们希望能够推动国会改革的目标，都已经充分交换了意见。
With Thursday's deadline fast approaching, the run for speaker is anything but certain. It seems the decision will come down to the wire. Andy Xue and Leslie Liao in Taipei for TaiwanPlus.
Environmental groups are raising awareness of reef damage caused by a gas receiving station built on Taiwan's northwest coast.
这一章却告诉我们，有可能漂沙将来就是淤积在潮间带生态呢。我个人的判断是会受到严重的影响。
The group say the construction of the CPC station off the coast of Taoyuan is impacting ocean currents, causing irregular sand accumulation that will threaten nearby reefs. CBC says beach erosion is normal during certain weather cycles and was common before the site was built. In a world that encourages consumption, old electronics often get thrown away. But as Laurel Stewart reports, more repair shops have been popping up around Taiwan, giving people an environmentally friendly way to save money.
Tucked away in this shed in Taichung in central Taiwan, old machines are getting a new life. Workers here are taking old household appliances and fixing broken parts, making them usable again. It's a project set up by the city's Environmental Protection Bureau in a bid to reduce waste and save people money.
正常来讲的话，我们要看零件是否还可以堪用。可以堪用的话，我们会做所谓的帮它修复它的零件，让民众不用再额外再多花一笔钱。
It costs about $1.50 to fix an item, with charges added if spare parts are needed. It's an initiative that saved people a pretty penny.
因为这边毕竟几十块就可以解决，第二可惜啦。你当然要说节俭也可以啦。
Last year, the shop fixed more than 3,000 household items, appliances like kettles, fans, and toaster ovens. They're all items that would have ended up in landfill. When electrical items aren't disposed of properly, harmful chemicals can leak out and contaminate soil and water. Or they're burned, creating toxic air pollution. Shifting people's habits towards repairing rather than throwing away could also reduce consumption.
它也会影响到，就是当这些消费者都觉得东西是可以修的时候，其实会给这些设计这些产品人有一些压力，就是他们会想，就是大家会想要我的东西怎么不能修，这样这些事情。
And it's not just Taichung holding these workshops. A whole network of them around the country are raising awareness of the option to repair, not throw away, in the hopes of promoting a more sustainable future. Eason Pan and Laurel Stewart for TaiwanPlus.
Coming up, find out how cultural clashes could hamper business between Taiwan and the U.S.
Hello and welcome to Taiwan Talks. I'm Ian Kavat. Today we examine China's engagement with Africa.
So, unfortunately, this very aggressive form of cultural revolution-like politics in China seems to be moving forward in this modern era.
This grave injustice is happening.
The issue is, what can the U.S. do to help strengthen Taiwan?
We need that kind of mindset to prepare for the warfare.
What implications does this have on Taiwan and the region as a whole?
Just like Ukraine right now, you need people to understand we're doing this for our own country.
Reaffirmed our support for the Taiwanese ability to make their own decisions about their own future.
It's very hard to duplicate in the short time. Taiwan still can continue being the leading position if we put efforts on R&D.
And you are riding on a wave. This is exactly the time you need to double down.
Or I did not realize I am actually running to be the first Asian woman in the state senate. Our next generation, they can see Asian American is as equal and have the same platform.
Taiwan Talks provides a platform for the voices and perspectives that are shaping our country.
For more stories from Taiwan and around the world, follow TaiwanPlus on social media.
Welcome back. You're watching TaiwanPlus News. Taiwanese companies have made a push to expand in the U.S. in recent years, but it's not all been plain sailing. Cultural clashes can get in the way of business success. Now, educators from the U.S. state of Arizona have launched a new course to boost local entrepreneurs in their chase for a larger international market. Joyce Zeng reports.
Be daring. Get out of your comfort zone.
A masterclass in global business. Education leaders from the U.S. state of Arizona have come to Taipei to teach Taiwanese tech entrepreneurs how to go global. It's a joint effort with Taiwan's Suzhou University and industry legend Stan Shi, the founder of Taiwanese computer giant Acer. Taiwan's a leader in electronics and making advanced chips, the brains in all things digital. But replicating that dominance abroad has been hard.
We need to upgrade our mindset to think how to global with our managers. So it's the reason why I come to the class today.
Do you think it'll be difficult?
I think it's very difficult.
Even Taiwan's most reputable tech firm, TSMC, is struggling to set up shop overseas, clashing with local workers in Phoenix, delaying their $40 billion site. It's an investment that's pulled several Taiwanese companies to the American desert state to support the chip maker, and why Arizona's Thunderbird Business School has come in with a crash course to help such firms succeed.
TSMC is, of course, the front edge of the spear, but I think they're going to share, and they will always share, that there are many things that they wish they had known prior to going to Arizona in the United States. That includes cross-cultural communications and negotiations. It's not just language, it's about the underlying cultural engagement.
Going global will take more than just land, equipment, and workers. Industry leaders say deciding factors for success are more intangible things like brand image and corporate culture, which is hard to teach and master. Industry heavyweights like Shi are hoping to make a start. He's passing on lessons learned from his career, growing Acer into one of the world's top computer makers.
Taiwan market is too small, but our technology, our value created should be go global. The image is critical, so made in Taiwan image need to cultivate, to develop.
Instead of made in Taiwan, leaders like Shi says it's time to extend the country's brand to made by Taiwan around the world, to establish its stake in the global market and secure allies in business beyond its borders. Devin Tsai and Joyce Sin for TaiwanPlus.
North Korea has test-fired new cruise missiles designed to be launched from submarines. The tests were overseen by leader Kim Jong-un. According to the country's state TV, the missiles flew for 2 hours before striking an island target. Photos published in North Korea's official newspaper showed at least 2 missiles were fired. North Korea has tested a variety of missiles designed to be launched from submarines in recent years, as it pursues the ability to launch a nuclear attack from underwater. Tensions have been mounting on the Korean peninsula in recent months. Kim Jong-un has labeled South Korea as Pyongyang's #1 enemy, and according to satellite imagery, has torn down a monument that symbolized reconciliation with the South. For more on these latest developments, Sam Hoi spoke to Kim Dae-yong, a South Korean analyst for Jane's Defense Weekly.
What does North Korea to demolishing the monument to peace and the reunification means?
现在台湾差不多，因为这个可能金正恩那个想的，这统一这个政策，好像现在没意义。好像北朝鲜自己也是可以，还有南韩也是差不多。南韩的年轻人现在这个统一的概念很小，但是我感觉台湾也是这样的吧。这个两岸关系的时候，台湾的年轻人也是。跟大陆，我们不是一个民族，我们是台湾人，也是南北也是有这样的想法啊。特别是金正恩也是，他也是年轻人，对不对
Will China back up North Korea in any invasion against the South?
很多这个研究家像就是两岸大战的时候，可能中国。跟那个北朝鲜说啊，你们也是做一个打仗或者是军事活动，这样的话可以美国关注韩半岛。但是我个人觉得没有这样的可能性，因为北朝鲜也是他们算一下，他们怎么做比较好。但是如果这样的话，可能美军或者是韩军打北朝鲜来的，也是这样的话，他们损失很多。所以他们很可能没有动作呢。
Is there any potential for Taiwan and South Korea to expand defense cooperation?
有一个问题是，那个韩国跟中国大陆有一个外交关系，但是如果韩国这样做的话，可能有外交上面的压力。所以我个人觉得，比如说军事合作呀，这样的话，偷偷秘密的可以。但是公开的话不行啊，有一个这样的问题。
There's been a lot of discussion about South Korea's involvement in Taiwan's domestic submarine program. What do you know?
我听说好像现在台湾那个建造潜水艇的时候，有韩国工程师几个工程师来帮助那样的。但是这个也是现在韩国国内有韩国警察调查那样的。但是这样的话，这个违法的好像有违法的行动，所以韩国政府也是关注这个事情。有的人说，这个印尼出口的一个型号的设计图，或者是以前德国的209的设计图，这样也是这样的说的。但是这两个都是问题来的，因为两个设计图都韩国政府有关的事情，所以韩国那边也是这个韩国媒体也是比较关注这个事情的现在。
That was Kim Dae-yong from Jane's Defense Weekly speaking to Sam Hui. Foreign-born residents in Japan are accusing the country's police of racial profiling. 3 men are suing Japan's national and local governments. They say they were repeatedly questioned and harassed by police because of their race and ethnicity. It's Japan's first such lawsuit. Each plaintiff is seeking more than $20,000 in compensation.
Tokyo is one of the greatest cities where people want to go, but I don't want to go out. And I always tell myself, why can't I? And the reason is just because I don't want to face another police. So 9 out of 10 times I know they will find a way to stop.
The Mona Lisa has become the target of a climate protest. 2 women were filmed throwing soup on a protective plastic covering of Leonardo da Vinci's painting at the Louvre in Paris. The activists from French organization Riposte Alimentaire or Food Response were calling for the protection of the environment and sources of food. Taiwan's first electronics-sniffing dog has made its debut to the press, showing off how his super schnoz can help local police. Our reporter Philip Bussard explains.
A common compliment for many dogs, but for 2-year-old Wafer here, it means much more. Unlike other working dogs here in Taiwan, Wafer is the country's first electronics-sniffing canine. His job is to detect electronic devices such as cell phones, flash drives, and crypto wallets that may contain criminal evidence. He identifies the devices by catching the scent of a chemical coating. U.S. nonprofit organization Operation Underground Railroad donated Wafer to Taiwan in August last year.
We cannot detect the odor that is emitting from everybody here has a cell phone. Everybody, so this odor is everywhere. So we need this dog to focus, to smell this very faint odor. So yeah, we will withhold food, and they want that food so bad that they can focus their scent to detect this.
Since arriving in Taiwan, Wafer's proved he has what it takes to sniff out suspicious electronic devices. To date, he has taken part in 3 big criminal investigations.
本署也会持续在跟美方就这个打击跨国犯罪各个全方位的这些合作。
Canines like Wafer are rare. There are only 3 electronics-sniffing dogs in Asia, including Thailand and Malaysia.
如果说真的有需要的话，请他们再做第2次的捐赠。他比较有这个先进的这个想法，他们的培训也比较有经验。过去的台湾的这些训练呢，没有针对这一个的部分在做训练。
With Officer Wafer now on the case, it'll be harder for criminals to smuggle contraband into the country. Patrick Chen, Sandy Chi, and Philip Broussard for TaiwanPlus.
New furniture can spruce up any home, but at a government auction in Taipei, what's old is new. Sandy Chi explains.
A wooden cabinet with half a century of history, purchased for just around $300. This recycled furniture auction is held by the Taipei City Environmental Protection Bureau. From cabinets to chairs to tables and even bicycles, all 1,500 products here are given a second lease on life.
各位看到这个结构啊，里面都是艺术品啊。要载人的时候放着，那没有要载人的时候把它拉下来。这个看到现在脚踏车没有这种结构的。第二个，你看它艺术品啊，你看前面那个还有这个喷射机啊。
The event attracted huge crowds ahead of the Lunar New Year. In Taiwan, it's a time for spring cleaning, and people here often replace old furniture.
过年有一些东西要换，对，我们现在看一下，椅子啊，或者是其他的置物的收纳的东西。
所有的家具都给它换新的，然后年终我看看有什么特别的。
The local government usually picks up unwanted furniture and other large household items. Since 2003, those deemed suitable are repaired and resold at low prices. Each year, thousands of discarded items find buyers.
我们一点差不多6、7千件的那个回收啦，那个你看那个都是实木的东西呀，而且我们标价都非常的低。
The furniture at the auction may not be brand new, but for these shoppers, what matters more is giving these items a second lease on life. Dolphin Chen and Sandy Chi for TaiwanPlus.
Tennis star Xie Shuwei has become the first Taiwanese to win 2 titles in the same Grand Slam event in an impressive run at this year's Australian Open. Xie and Belgian partner Elise Mertens won the competition's women's doubles event after taking home the mixed doubles title with Polish partner Jan Zielinski. She's the first person since 2000 to win both titles at the Australian Open in the same year. Thank you for watching TaiwanPlus News. You can visit the TaiwanPlus website or follow our social media for more stories from Taiwan and around the world. Finally, we leave you with these shots of the largest cruise ship in the world on its maiden voyage. I'm Betty Chen. Take care and see you next time.